Alrighty, hello and welcome back to another Marvel Rants yapping session. We're going to talk about the recent updates for the first topic here, because I do get why these updates happen, but I'm not a fan of these updates, especially the removal of 6 decks at Plat and above. I do get what they want to prevent with this, but it caused more issues than it solved, in my personal opinion, especially with the tournament now being live. Like, they updated the game one day before the tournament and introduced a completely new meta with all the balance changes and everything, and that's also something I do not like. But the removal of 6 decks, so you basically have no chance within the game itself to practice with your team. You have to fully rely on third-party things and scrims instead of just jumping into a competitive manner where you already play against all the ranks that are possible in the tournament itself. So I'm not a big fan of this. I know it is not as bad as I think it is, because it also solves a lot of smurfing issues, I guess, or a lot of boosting issues rather, because, you know, you can just create a new completely free Steam account all the time and then start playing again on a smurf, so it's not really a solve for this issue. But yeah, it is like... I don't know why they decided that removing 6 decks is crazy, like a crazy good idea, because it's just not what the community wanted to begin with. Like, they have been so on point in listening to the community, like, I would say 90% of the time. And then they bring out an update where they just remove the ability for you to play with your friends. It is crazy. I know... Okay, listen. I know that you are still able to queue up as 6 people in quick play and have fun and play with your friends like this. But it is just not the same thing. Because how many of you people are queuing up a quick play with all of your friends, and then you're going to take this whole thing completely serious and actually try to win? Because from my own experience, whenever me and my friends are queuing up quick play, we just do dumb stuff, like, across the board. We pick whatever we want. We do not really look into team comps. We are just playing quickly because it's there for having fun. Yeah? Like, you're not going to completely full sweat in quick play, because why would you? But I do see sometimes in quick play that enemy teams are like playing triple heal and all this stuff, and it's fine, but you know, it's like a bit too much in my opinion. I mean, now we have to do it as well to just get the reps in for the comps that we want to play in the tournament and so on and so forth, but it's just, it doesn't feel the same. It doesn't give me the same competitive drive. As soon as I'm in a quick play, I'm like, well, it's just have fun, you know? It's like, damn, crazy. But yeah, I do not quite understand why why they would remove 6 decks. I mean, honestly, removing 6 decks is not a bad idea, but not from Plat and above. I would do it as soon as you hit Celestial, for example. You are not able to 6 decks. Like, you skip the first part of the update and let people have 6 decks up until, like, Celestial, and then make it so that as soon as one person in your friend group hits Celestial, this person cannot participate in 6 decks anymore. You know what I'm saying? That would make the most sense. And then let people have trio queues in Celestial Eternity, for example. You know what I'm saying? Just let people trio queue then. And as soon as you hit one above all, it's duo queue only. That would be, in my opinion, a more balanced update about this now. Because why? people are not going to keep in diamond and six stack and six stack and six stack. People want to go into the higher ranks, like everybody wants. Everybody who plays competitive has the goal of getting as high as possible in terms of ranks. So, in my opinion, that would be a good, like, a balanced out thing if they wanna keep this the way for competitive as well. And yeah, that's what I have to say about the six stack removal. Now let's talk about some meta changes, because I feel like they are balancing the game around heals or support players more. And this is only the reason because some people in this game really do not understand what the support role is for. Like, even I said support, but it's called strategist for a reason, I guess. They could have just labeled it support or heals, but it is a strategist. And some people, especially, and I'm saying this again, especially DPS players, do not know what to do when the supports are getting killed and attacked. And people are just ignoring it. So the devs went ahead and said, after they put out, like, in a I do not know when it was, I believe it was season 2.5 in the patch notes, they even told you how to play the game. They told us how to play the game. They specifically told everybody in the patch notes, in the little text they had, the tanks and DPS players are responsible for protecting their backline, protecting their strategists. And this is crazy to me, because if the devs have to put it in an update, you know that the majority of people do not know how to play the game effectively. And that is the sole reason, by the way, why so many people are like hard stuck plat or whatever, because they just do not know what to do. They blame the strategist for not enough heal, but they are like, you know, completely out of position. I believe I talked about this in the last episode that I did. The exact same thing, so I'm not gonna go into detail this time, but you know what I mean. But the meta currently shifted very much. Like, there's some new entries, I see tier lists all the time, and I'm going to do a tier list in a separate video because it will take a long time to make it, because I have so much to say about all the current meta and all the heroes and everything, and I am pretty sure that my tier list is so different to everybody else's tier list, because I see everything else from a slightly different perspective, because I believe the worst hero in the game is still viable if you know exactly what to do, which, by the way, is something that I like about Marvel Rivals in comparison to any other competitive game, I guess. Because in League, for example, if you pick the worst legend possible, it's like you're throwing immediately, you know what I'm saying? But in Marvel Rivals you can make everything work if you're just not even good enough, if you just know what you do with the character itself. So I'm going to make a tier list soon, whenever I have time to do all this, because I believe this is going to be a long ass video. And yeah, I like the meta currently very much, because it's like so much easier as a DPS main to care for the backline and put out damage, because with certain team-ups, like the Luna Adam team-up makes your backline so much more viable to survive things if Black Panther is not banned and he's open. And the, what was it, the Mantis Loki Groot team-up is busted, in my opinion. It's just so good. But I do not see it as much, funny enough. Loki is always like such a dominant character in every single meta so far. He is always good. He is the best anti-dive support. He's better than Adam, even if some people are saying that Adam is way better than Loki. No, he's not. Loki is the best anti-dive support you can pick. Because why? Okay, let's talk about Loki here for a second. Why is Loki, in my opinion, the best anti-dive support? First of all, he can go invisible. Alright, you can reposition to wherever you want because you're just invisible, and you can stay invis as long as you want. Alright? Second thing, while you're invis, you're healing yourself. As long as you're invis. So basically, if you're 10 HP, you go invis and you get away because the people couldn't track you or do not listen to footsteps. You're going to heal yourself full. The third thing is, you can switch positions with your clones. So, if you're good with your clone placement and if you're using high grounds and whatever, you can just always just teleport away from any dive. And if you can't, because you need to heal your DPS and the front line, you can just drop down your lamps and survive basically everything, because most of the dive players have only one thing in mind, and it's killing you. So they're not going to switch to the lamps immediately, wasting their precious combos on their precious time to kill lamps. They're just going to search for another target or disengage immediately when they see lamps. So now you have your lamps on cooldown, that's good, but this is the moment where you need to rely on your DPS and you need to call out, yo, I have lamps on cooldown, can a DPS protect me for a little while? Alright? This is crucial. So yeah, this is why I think Loki is the best anti-dive support or strategist there is in the game. You have a rocket which can just fly away, which is also good, but Loki is like overall better, in my opinion, because of his ability also to copy ults and come in with a clutch ult. Also, he charges his ult very fast, even though I believe it got nerfed in 2.5, or was it 3.0? Not sure which patch it was, but they reduced his charge rate on his ult, but it's still fast if you know what you're doing and if you position yourself well. However, most of the Loki players that I see, they try to flank for some reason. And don't get me wrong, you can, but most of the time it does not work. And also the team up with Mantis, where your lamps are like the damage boost as well and they get bigger, is crazy. They can take over a whole point. It's just so good to play Loki. And I do not even play Loki as much because, as I said, I'm a DPS man, but I love seeing Lokis on my team that actually know how to position the clones and just play around their DPS and tanks. It's awesome. It's just awesome. Loki gives so much more util to your team that most people see or think about. Because I can tell you something. We played the tournament last week, and we played against like a very, very good team. And I have never thought about that Loki is just such a situational character as well. It never crossed my mind that Loki can just not only fucking copy the strategist's ult, because this is what people do 90% of the time, is copy the strategist's ult, but then there is this 10% times where Loki should copy a DPS ult, or for example a Groot ult for more CC or whatever. And it caught me completely off guard because they Groot ulted us. And then the Loki copied the enemy team's Phoenix, and then both at the same time ulted as Phoenix and completely wiped out our team immediately. There was nothing we could have done against this. That was insane. That shit, that play completely caught us off guard, I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, whoa. I have not expected this at all, because we could have survived one Phoenix ult, but the second Phoenix ult that exploded at the same exact time, that was crazy. That was awesome to see. That was like, I love to see it. I wasn't even mad because I just loved to see it. It was such a good play to do. Jesus. And this is the thing. Just try not to give so much things about like all these pro players and all these very high ranked players doing tier lists and whatever, because most of the time they are seeing it from a like pro scene perspective. They are seeing it from like a tournament perspective, like the Marvel Rivals mid-season finals, for example. And it's good that these people are providing you with like a general idea of what is good and what is not good. But just because this one dude says that Magic, for example, is bad, and then the enemy team in your ranked games have a Magic, and this Magic is completely destroying you. You know what I'm saying? It does not always mean that a low tier list entry from pro players is not viable within the game. It is the same exact thing with people after the Jeff nerf, or Jeff in general, is everybody says Jeff is a bad healer. Jeff does not add anything to the team, and every time I see somebody pick Jeff in my team in ranked, this Jeff gets automatically flamed for some reason, and people tell him to switch off to a better healer and whatever. And yes, I get that Jeff does not have a support ult, which is true. But then the fucking mid-season finals tournament went live in China, and Jeff had a high pick rate, and people were like, well, maybe I shouldn't flame the Jeff players. But then again, if you look back and look into these team setups from the mid-season finals, it's always the Jeff pick in a triple healer situation. Because I did not watch all of it, I have to say. I watched the majority of it, but I'm pretty sure there was not a single time where they played two heals and one of them was Jeff. I am pretty sure it was always in a triple healer setup. Or triple strategist setup. See, I'm doing it as well. But you know what I'm saying. So it's like, do not pay as much attention to tier lists until you're like, I don't know, fucking Celestial or even Grandmaster. Like, if you reach Grandmaster, you can put some thought into tier lists, because by the time you reach Grandmaster, you should have already have a wide range of hero pool that you can pick. But even then, if you see that the in quote meta picks do not work for you, just pick the thing that you're really good at. Because my personal opinion is, I'd rather have somebody that is very good at in an off meta character than very, very bad or mediocre on a meta character. You know what I'm saying? It just adds more to the team. Yeah, so I guess this was it for this video. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. Maybe you guys have some topics that you want me to go into or whatever. Or maybe I didn't catch up on something. I do know that I completely forgot in the little aim guide that I did, where I said it also affects melee characters, and then I never showed what I mean with that, because I completely forgot to show you guys the melee character thing. I'm sorry, I completely forgot that, but it wasn't the last thing that I do. I'm going to go over this in the next little aim guide part 2 thing that I will put out soon, I guess. Not this weekend though, because this weekend is tournament weekend and I need to focus on this a little bit more. But next week, there's probably going to be a lot more videos again. Alrighty. Thank you for watching, and I hope I see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves and bye bye.